Hello, everybody, and we are back on our regular channel. We are back on our regular channel. We are back for our regular station program, although we are adding Tamara at 4 o'clock because we couldn't do hers at all today. We are back, so thank you. It is day 4, our last day of the Scrapbooking Fun Summit. We want to thank everyone for being here. We love having new people, which we've been talking to, and we said veteran, Debbie's been with us for the whole time. People returning.
I feel sorry for them. I really do, guys. I mean,
not at all. We keep asking you back, so you can't feel sorry.
Okay, Mary, go ahead and put your thing. Oh, I don't know if it's going to work. Well, it might work. No, I haven't done something that I have to do because Mary's going to want to put purple hearts in the chat, and I didn't pop that out, so it should work in a minute.
It works on the YouTube, but you don't see it here. You just see emoji sign here. So welcome. We just want to do a quick shout out to our sponsors. So our event sponsor is RB Riley. Check out her video on Thursday. And remember, I think today is the last day to enter their giveaway and their draw, which is on the site. So check that out. Oh, Mary's hearts did show. So there you go.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure. I actually did a test and put them up myself.
There you go. Well, yours didn't. Yours just say face red heart, but hers showed. So
no, I did. I saw some red ones going across my face.
Yeah.
I didn't see hers yet.
Yeah, it depends on the one and what you do. But all good. So thank you to our sponsors. Check out the freebies. Remember, if you're interested in any of the freebies on the Meet the Speaker page, tomorrow they're down at the end of the 24 hours. They will go down unless you're a VIP. No guarantees you can get them after the summit's over. We keep them up for the VIPs with a no guarantee it's going to happen. So check that out and do that. And our other two sponsors who are creative sponsors who are not particularly the Answer in a Day or anything, they're creative sponsors, is Whimsy Stamps, which has lots of really fun, cool things, and Zebra Pen Canada. So those are our sponsors. Check them out. Give them some love and support because they are supporting us to do this. So Debbie brought us good luck. Yes, Debbie brought us good luck. Might have been
I'm looking in the chat. It's like, yeah, thank you.
I think it came alive before we started Sean's the other way around, but I wasn't sure. But I'm glad to be back. This wasn't us. This was an outage. There was an outage with our 3 streamers. I've been using them for years. That's the first time they've ever had a tech problem that I've seen. So.
Yeah, that was weird. I was actually on my OBS, and I've got a stream going on later on this afternoon, so I wanted to make sure my OBS everything was kind of sort of right. It's never exactly right. Kind of sort of right. And it kept telling me that it couldn't connect to Restream. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So I had to disconnect it altogether in the settings and reset it up.
Yeah.
That was so weird. I've had different issues like that lately.
I have a feeling they had a 2-hour outage, they said. So it wasn't a outage, but they're back. So they are back, and we will work with that and see. So let's start this off. If you don't know Debbie, which most of you do, we're still going to go through the same questions and do that. So, and the answer, Tracy, is no. We're still going to do some stuff, and we're going to talk about change my screen and go and say, where's Debbie? There she is. Debbie, where are you in the world? That's our first question. And by the way, I might be mentioning while we're doing this, I might be eating a little bit because I need some energy, but
you need food. It's totally fine. So
where are you in the world?
I am in Florida. So it is still in the 70s. I am wearing t-shirt. We've got the AC going. My husband's outside. Actually, he's right outside right there. Working in the yard, playing with all of his plants because that's his hobby, and meaning he comes in really, really sweaty because it is still sweaty weather. Yeah, we're not getting cold yet. I was surprised when I saw somebody having their first snowfall and they shared their picture on Facebook yesterday. It's like, no, it's 74 degrees here. It's actually comfortable.
We're actually not cold. A little cold, but we're a lot warmer than we are. So, and we don't have snow yet. It'll come, but we don't have snow.
Good. So. Yeah, we do not get snow here ever. And yeah, I don't do well with snow.
How did you fare in the hurricanes?
Hurricane? What was that? We did have a power outage for like about 24 hours, which is unreal for us. Where my house is, there is a power line a couple of blocks away that always gets hit and it knocks out the power. And because it only affects like a few people in this area, considering all of Central Florida, only a few people in my area, we're usually like the last ones to get our power back.
Yes,
and we got it back in about 24 hours. I was shocked. And Yeah, I mean, one time I know we went out for, I think, about 2 to 3 weeks because it took so long for them to get all of the power taken care of for everybody. The way that they work is they try to take care of the issues that are going to affect the most amount of people first. So they get more people done, and then all of us little stragglers out there, we have to wait a lot.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
but I'm glad you didn't.
we weren't really expecting anything bad, so didn't even. I think we did load up the fridge, and my husband did go and get gas for the generator. But other than that, we really didn't do anything. We set up our electric to run just this room through our generator and tethered the phone to the computer so I get a little bit of stuff done, but it wasn't really good enough to be able to do anything. So no streams that week. Wait, that day. Those folks kind of didn't like me anymore.
That happens. So are you, my general question, a card maker, a scrapbooker, what are you?
I am a card maker. And the reason being, I have done some bigger projects and loved them, but they take forever. They're hard to store. And how the heck do you get them on camera? Once I started doing camera stuff, it's like I can't really do resin here at my desk because this is my computer desk. It's where I do all the things. If you're doing anything big like a tumbler, it's like, okay, you set it up. You can't do anything for 24 hours. You can't do anything else at your desk. I can't take time away from my desk that long. That sort of thing. I did paper mache one year and made tombstones and jack-o'-lanterns. Like I've got some really big jack-o'-lanterns that I just absolutely love. My tombstones kind of got stored in the attic, and hot, humid, mold. Those got thrown away. But cards I find are easy to do. You get a lot of practice because you can do a small project, and you can do a lot of small projects in a little bit of time. And every time you do something, you get better. And they're not hard to store. I mean, I've got way too many. So yeah, I do donate those, but they're not hard to store. I mean, they're flat, so it doesn't take up space. It works so well. And scrapbooks, Tracy, intimidate me. I don't have anybody who wants to look at them anyway. So it's like they would be for me, and I have a really hard time doing stuff just for me. After raising kids, after raising kids, it's hard. Yeah. I'm getting better. I mean, I am doing a lot of the card making stuff that's projects and stuff for design teams and things, but I'm doing what I want to do. I pick the things I want to play with, and then I donate the cards that I don't actually give out to anybody, even though I do give away a lot of my cards.
That's great that you donate them. So, yes. And it isn't, there's people who are intimidated by cards. So I think we all have our different
blocks, because it's good smaller. They're thinking, how can I get something on that small of a piece? Like I make A2 size mostly because it is 1/4 of a sheet of paper. When I did my first, this is going to be so bad. One year for Christmas back in the 90s, we ran out of Christmas cards and I didn't want to go buy them. So I printed them out on my computer on regular copy paper. And that's what we sent out. And it was folding a sheet of paper in by 4, right? You fold it in half, you fold it in half again. It's perfect. I didn't know about the world of card making. We just had a software that it was actually included in it. So
how did you find the world of card making?
It was an accident. After I finished college, which I went back to school like 20 years after I quit, and I finally finished up in 2014. But after that, at my job, I decided I wanted to get focused. I wanted to start getting more stuff done having to do with work. So it's like, I'm going to start using a planner again. I took out my old planner and I cried because I could not make myself use it. It was a Franklin Covey, and the last time I had used it was when my first husband was still alive. And I just couldn't make myself do it. So I went and bought a planner. I think I got one at Target. One at Staples that I didn't like the layout. And then I got a different one at Michael's. Pretty teal. Love it. I still have it. It's beautiful. It's 6-ring binder. And started looking on YouTube to see different ways of doing things. Because again, I didn't really like the layout, but since it was 6-ring, I can make my own and put them in there. That's no big deal. I can figure out how to do that. So I'm looking it up, and then I came across something that's like, they make stamps for you to stamp in your planner? What? So I found that. And then I'm doing a little bit more searching online, and I discovered Jennifer McGuire. That was it. Ever since then, I have been making cards. My first cards were ones that I was watching her video and I'm doing the same thing. And I don't have the supplies she had, of course, but I'm trying to do what she's doing. And I learned so much. One that I remember was probably 2017. And she made one that was she made it where you can make a balloon for the front of your card, and you didn't have to have a special balloon die. You just could, if you had a big circle, or you could just cut a circle, and it was fun. So it's like I made like a dozen of them. But yeah, I discovered her, and then I discovered all the other wonderful people that are creating on YouTube, teaching us how to do what they do. Mm-hmm. And I've always been one that when I'm learning something, I get excited and I start telling people about it. Mm-hmm. So one of my buddies at work was saying, "Hey, you should do a tutorial on that." And it's like, what? Yeah, you should do that on YouTube. And it's like, okay, I guess I could try it. Yeah, and now this is all I do. I have no life.
I like the way you just went, "No, this is all." It's like,
I was going to say you have a life. It's just very virtual. That's all.
Yeah, this is my life, guys. I mean, nobody else is it. When other people that I come across, like my in-laws and my husband, have no interest in this. So y'all are the only ones I get to talk to about it.
Well, and we've been talking about that with our circle and with other places. There's lots of people who are isolated for whatever reason, or it's just the beauty of being able to get together with people who have a common passion. Is you don't have to have the world in common, but you have a common passion. It's great for people who don't have a community anymore in their own hometowns, where there's not crops and there's not crafters.
I mean, I've never done crafting with people. I mean, I think if you want to consider art class in junior high school, I guess that would count, or playing with Barbies and making their clothes and things with my sister when we were kids. Other than that, until Creativation, I had never actually been to a card making class ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been teaching and sharing what I'm doing for 7 years. Oh my God. In a job, I feel like I was an expert by then. I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
I was going to say, Arlene, I have a happy planner person. So Arlene, I need to know how you're making your pages inside, because I don't do that. I have the happy planner and I use it, but I've never really thought about making my own pages because they keep changing.
I've got a happy planner too. I wanted to make stickers and stuff. So I learned how to make stickers. And it's like, with a planner, I'm better. If I was off doing things and needed to write things down because I did not have access to my computer, a paper planner would work better for me. I found right now, though, that using Notion works better for me planning out what I'm going to get done. I mean, I can have a calendar on there. I can have all the details, all the things, but I still have my regular paper planners. But I don't use them as much. I thought, maybe I need to do memory keeping, but none of my family looks at pictures other than on their devices. There's the Todd for all of you guys out there who want to say hello to the Todd, and he is filthy from being out in the yard, and you do not get feet pics this time.
That's a good.
He's back here, and a lot of times while I'm streaming, his feet will be up on the desk, and all you see is his bare feet. We love him.
Restream just told me that their issue is resolved and we can use it again. Yeah, there you go. We're already here. I had a question and it went when I saw that. So meow the Todd. There you go.
Meow to the Todd.
Can you share your project? The project that you did for our session.
I actually went and pulled it out of my card bin, guys. So this is the one that I made for our little project. So Spellbinders came out with some large animal dies. Actually, I've got another one, which is a kitty. But my first thought when I saw these was that's a shaped card. It's a shaped card. That's the first thing I thought of. And he turned out so cute. I made one. And then I decided I need to make another one because I gave that one to someone. So for our video, for the presentation you guys saw, I had to make a second one for the presentation because I gave away the first one. Did we get that to Cesar? I think it was. Yeah. Somebody had a birthday, so Todd picked it out of the thing. So that's one thing that he does get. It's like if there's someone with a birthday, he goes through the stash to say, okay, which one do we want to use? Because he knows I've got a ton.
So did you color that card, or how did you do the card?
This one is done with ink blending. So I shaded it with ink. Super quick. No markers. It was cut out on like craft cardstock, and got kitties all over the screen. Thank you, Susan. So yeah, for this one, because on this other one I used markers.
Okay.
This one I decided to use some ink blending and just some browns over some brown cardstock, and it turned out perfect. It gave it just that little bit of depth by basically inking the edges.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it.
It is cute. I think it's cute.
How would you use that, Tracy, in a scrapbook, or could you?
Well, the actual die, of course you could do that. Of course you could,
Yes.
especially if you have a pug as a pet, right? Or,
Right.
you know, me, I can probably use it with this cat who's been a bit of a,
Well, they do have a kitty.
you know, trying to get attention there. Yes.
They do have a kitty die.
You know,
so
you've
yeah.
got the picture and you've got the,
Mhm.
it's basically, it's ephemera right there.
Absolutely. That is exactly, you're absolutely right. With all the die cuts and everything, they're basically, you do have to color them if you need to, but if you cut them out of different colored papers, you don't actually have to do anything else. I am very out of practice with coloring because I've been doing so much die cutting over the last couple of years. I joined the Spellbinders influencer team, I think 3 years ago, and I've been doing a ton of die cuts on some other design teams too, but I've been doing a ton of die cuts during that time. And I don't really color as much as I used to. And that's changing. The guys that have been watching my Susan has a question. I'm thinking you probably could. I mean, I glued it down so it doesn't come off, but you wouldn't necessarily have to. There would be a way to do it. If you wanted to use, like, say, a jump ring and maybe cut that out of like 2 or 3 layers so that it doesn't rip or anything, you could absolutely put a jump ring through it and put it around the collar. I don't see any reason why not.
Sorry, I don't want to get negative here, but let's say, you know, our pet passes away.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can have, again, and I'm going back to the scrapbooking, you know, where you've got the picture, you've got that die showing, and then like the collar, maybe you could put one of their real, you know, what was like their tag,
that would be
you know,
adorable
on there or something like that. You know,
it's a big enough image and a big enough collar, you could get away with that. I mean, for that matter, instead of using the collar, how about using a piece of ribbon and tying it around the neck with the collar on there?
Yeah.
You can definitely
the collars,
do that.
depending, you know, sometimes might be, but just like their
Yeah,
tag,
their
right?
little
That's
tag.
on
You
there.
could tie it on some ribbon or something. That would not be hard at all to put onto a scrapbook page.
I'm curious.
I've done that. I have put collars in a scrapbook page and stuff before. I've done some memorial albums for, you know, some pages.
We didn't do that. Instead, on my phone, I still have as my main picture a picture of one of my kitties. They both looked alike, and they passed away this spring, so we don't have kitties anymore. Yeah, I love my kitties. I want another kitty.
Hard when they
ready
pass
for
away.
another cat yet?
It's hard.
Yeah,
I have a question.
We understand.
I have a question for people in there and yourself. Do you like ink blending, coloring, pre-printing? It's all colored and you don't have to do anything. What are your favorite ways to do it? Same
Right. I'd say that it depends on how creative I want to be. I have found in the past trying to use stickers and ephemera is a bit challenging because in my brain, stupid me, there's something that says it's cheating. It's not, but there's something in my brain that says it's cheating. So I feel like I need to cut or color or something to add something of me to it in order for it to be a Debbie J or Debbie's creation, right? However, after we're watching Sarah, while I was watching Sarah a while ago, I had her website up and I was looking at, I think it was something about a pop-up. I think she showed a pop-up or something. So I decided I had to try her little pop-up. So during her live, I was doing that.
That looks great.
using, and it's not, doesn't have a die or anything like that. It's just a couple pieces of short paper. And I have decided I do not like the card bases that I'm using right now. I discovered after pulling them out of my stash that Nina is really not heavyweight compared to what I want. So I have to get another cardstock. This is the index. This is like supposed to be the heavyweight cardstock, but it doesn't. In Florida, paper wilts faster because of the humidity. So I don't like the feel of not heavyweight.
So we have, I don't like coloring. I like coloring. That's what I kind of expected. Some like coloring.
I do.
Coloring.
I would say I like coloring. I like to do all the things. It's just finding. I've told you guys I need more time. I need more brain power. And yeah. So for my birthday, because a lot of these guys know that my birthday was just like about a week ago, my husband and his mom got me a new set of Ohuhu markers, the 320 set, because I decided I need to replace my Spectrum Noir because my Spectrum Noir, they were running out of ink. They were getting all dried out, and it was getting really hard to find any kind of refills. So I bought a small pack during Amazon Prime days. So they just got me the 320 set. It's like, yay. So now I'm getting back into that. Now, how I'm going to do that with video, I have no idea. So these guys are going to have to tell me, do you want to actually sit there and watch me color when it takes longer? Because die cutting doesn't take long.
So you did a coloring card for us for a circle? If you don't even remember that, you see in May, June, I can't remember, you did a coloring card for a disco ball and lights.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like I got the card in my brain. It's like I just was looking at that one too. Like I've got all my light up cards like right there together. It's like, what did I do that one for? It's like I try to remember, what did I do it for? Because I keep pictures of everything too, and I kind of have there's part of me is OCD and needs to have everything arranged in a logical order, and so I can find it. And then the other side is where I start playing and then I can't find anything anyway. So I don't know.
320. That's so your markers. They love their markers.
Yeah.
So somebody who doesn't know anything, what's the difference between them and a Copic marker?
I have never tried Copics, but this is my set of markers, and yes, it's heavy. This set, what I've had in the past was I got Spectrum Noir when I first started doing this stuff because the price point was much better. I had, we were hearing about Copics and how wonderful Copics were, but they were like $7 a marker. And when you're starting off and you have a limited amount of money you're willing to dedicate to playtime, yeah, I was not willing to do that. Those came with a chisel nib on one end and a bullet nib on the other, like that. Okay. So this one is the Honolulu B series. And I didn't know this until I was checking out their website, but the Honolulu B series, and it has a bullet nib and a brush nib, meaning I get to play with brush nibs now, which I've never done before. And I am loving this. I think that they probably are going to be performing about the same as what Copics do, but I'm not sure. I do know that 320 markers cost $245, not $7 a marker. That's less than $1 a marker.
Yeah.
And the best part is they do have refills, not for all of them. I think they've got refills for about like 50 of the most heavily used ones, but they do have refills. And that was one of the big things for me too. I'm hoping that at some point that they'll start doing more. I did do coloring on. I don't know if I've still got the card that I colored. I bet I do. This one's going to be for a video that I have edited, but I've edited and uploaded, and it's going to be coming out. Actually, I haven't edited it yet. Oh, it's so cute though. So I colored this one this week.
That's nice.
Yeah, but what's better? So this is going to be going up for Pear Blossom Press coming up this week. I've got, this is for we have a hop on the 13th. So this is going to be part of the hop. So yeah, I've got a little light up card. The stamp is from Ink and Splatter. So we've got a collaboration hop going on. And this is just, I think it's adorable. So you guys are getting a sneak peek. Okay. Because yeah, I've posted it on my page on Facebook, but that's it. Nobody else has gotten to see it yet because the hop doesn't actually happen till the 13th. So, but yeah.
Well, Annette doesn't like coloring, and then the next person does, and that's really what's cool about it. Some do, some don't. I just got the Oho markers, but I just found out they are not light fast.
I haven't seen that. But if you think about what we do, okay, if you are doing scrapbooking, that's one thing. Okay, if you're doing scrapbooking, that's an important thing to check out. Tracy's the expert on that. I know really nothing about scrapbooking, but I know that you would want your images to stay nice long term, right? When you're coloring something for a card, you hope somebody doesn't throw it away. But yeah, it's probably gonna, I mean, some cards may, I mean, this one's a light up card. It's probably gonna stay up on somebody's shelf for a while until I send them something else. But a lot of folks are going to be throwing out the cards after the fact or putting them in a drawer somewhere. I mean, I've still got Christmas cards from years ago, but I don't display them. They're basically, I don't want to throw them away because somebody thought enough to send them to me. But I mean, I'm talking about even the ones that you buy, like the Hallmark.
I laugh because I'm guilty. I have a box right there full of cards that people send because it's hard to send them away. Plus, when you go through them, you remember the person or whatever. So I'm guilty.
I know. There's so many things that have sentimental value. That's one reason why I'm having trouble with destashing, which I am working on. I need to get rid of things. But it's like you pick up something like, oh, I remember when I did whatever. You know, everything you touch reminds you of something.
So here's a question. What's your favorite technique?
I can't say that it's any of them are my favorite technique. There are some that I love, and there's some that I just do a lot of. And because I do a lot of them, I love them. I love hot foiling. Love hot foiling. I do a lot of it, but I don't do as much of it as I probably could because I got other stuff I got to do. Love the better press. I love using the better press with hot foil. I'm loving light up cards. And every time I make a light up card, it gets easier and easier. And I'm loving that. And I've come up with, I've actually made some templates to go along with the lights to make it even easier for me and everybody else to use them. What else? There's some that I have played with and I love the effects and they're not hard, but I just haven't made the time to. For instance, ink splatter. Hey, Dawn. Ink splatter, spray stains. I've done alcohol ink and haven't done a lot of that because it's messy. And again, this is my computer desk too. So I need to try to keep it clean. So I've got a lot of things that I liked doing when I played with them before. But for whatever reason, I haven't said it. Susan says I was going to say hot foil was Debbie's favorite. I do love foiling.
I was going to say light up cards. So there you go. Because that's what we know. Yeah.
Well, foiling is one of those things that if I start doing it, I have a hard time stopping. So I make a ton of panels and they may or may not get used. There is toner foiling that you can use through a stencil and transfer gel that when I get started, I have trouble stopping, which means I've got a lot of panels that I never get used. So what I've been doing, I'd say over the last year or so is trying to stay focused on the project at hand instead of letting some of the pieces that I love doing get out of hand. So that I don't have so much stuff that is not getting used. I've got bins. I've cut them all down like into A2 size so I can basically put them on a card with a sentiment and be done, hopefully.
And I know somebody else said is they are sentimental about the cards, but they use them to put them in scrapbooks and other things, which I think too, you know, we can be sentimental, but reusing them is also a great way of cutting them up to make new cards.
I've seen folks make new cards out of old cards. And that's that part of my brain that says, is this cheating?
No.
And it's not. That's the thing. It's hard to, it's the whole thing. Like, okay, with drawing, there are ways to be able to draw nice. You know, you can use, the great artists use projector type things to be able to do it. I mean, we've got the real ones now, but they did use like a candle and all the things to make kind of a projected image. And they sketch things out before they paint them. And for some reason in my head, I don't know if I was taught wrong. I only took like one class in junior high school. but in my brain, it says that you're supposed to freehand everything. And you're not supposed to use the tools. And I am embracing the tools now because regardless of how well you think you can draw or how well you think you can color or any of the things, there are tools out there to help make it faster, easier, better, more perfect. Yeah. But you also have to put perfection out the door too, because
I will use, like when I draw, I'll use a grid to expand it.
Mhm.
Like if I'm taking something from this big and I'm making it this big, using a grid is the best way to do it. You're still freehanding it.
Yeah.
You're just drawing little 1-inch squares instead of drawing the whole thing. So you're still freehanding and doing it. So I'll use a grid for that.
Well, there's another thing that I want to try out, and I haven't done it. I've been so bad. I met these folks at Creativation. I think the company is DaVinci, but they have an app for the phone. And I had seen one similar at Creativation like the year before, but this one was better, where you basically are tracing the image from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it so easy to do it. But I have been so busy, and this was March. I've been busy, so I haven't had a chance to actually pull that out and show you guys, because they were some super sweet folks too. They were some. I mean, they immediately offered to let me be an affiliate for them, even though I had never heard of the company. And then, and I mean, they didn't know me, but they like me.
I don't know
But
why
I've been meaning to do that too. It's like it makes it easy. There are tools to make it easy, and if you can just get the sketch down, it's just like, okay, you've stamped out an image. And then you can color it because you've got the guides to go by. I mean, I could not draw Santa. I couldn't do that. No, I might be able to figure it out. But at this point, I haven't had enough practice to be able to draw that where it would look decent. But if I had got like the basics of it down, I'm sure I could color it and it would look good.
Well, and you can use it. Grid's a great way to do it. So that's
absolutely
a
absolutely.
grid. If you don't know what a grid is, it's putting a clear grid on top of it, and then you're just drawing the 1-inch square. So,
well, I have seen where folks would draw out a grid real light in pencil and be able to do it that way.
No, the way that I was taught to do it, you do it on like a clear. I have a clear piece of plastic with a grid marked out on it, so you can put a photo behind it, and then on your own page where you're going to draw it, you use a grid and then use transfer paper.
And then maybe use a light box.
A light box or transfer paper.
Mm-hmm.
To do transfer paper, and that way,
like I said, there are tools. I have transfer paper and I have a light box, but I just haven't made the time to get all the. I want to do all the things, but I just don't have the time to do it.
But from a drawing perspective, that's one great way to draw because you're only drawing. You're just drawing the line in the 1-inch square, and then they join in, and then you expand it. So it's a great way to expand a small picture to a larger picture. I've done a lot of grid work, and it's been a while, but I've done a lot of grid work.
Do you have any videos on that we can watch?
No, I don't, but Tracy might make me do one last time. Hey, I did a presentation this time on AI and how to use it to do your sentiments and stuff. So.
Well, I watched your presentation in the other summit that you were in this weekend.
The other one, the business one? Okay, there you go.
Yep,
there you go.
So there's some stuff in that one I need to go back on because, I've got some of the things I do right and some of the things I really don't, and I know I don't. But.
There's a bunch of, from my other job for people who don't know is I'm a business coach and a strategist and how to grow your audience. And you guys need to know how to monetize more.
Yes. Right. We need to not be afraid of saying, hey, I've got this for sale. Like, did you know that I have a hot foil mini course on my website?
Yeah. Well, even sometimes it's good to drop a hint. We all know Costco, for example. Most of us know who Costco is, right? You go to Costco, they get you a sample, you eat the sample, and then they come back and get the rest. That's the philosophy. I can go through a whole bunch of business stuff. But that was in the other summit. This summit, it was how to use AI to write your sentiments on the inside of the card. So you're pasting on the outside, but what do you want to put on the inside? How to use it to personalize it. So you guys can watch that. It's available till tomorrow. And I gave prompts so people can use it. So don't be scared of it. Because you create the outside of the card. Sometimes you need something on the inside of the card. So it's good. Any questions for Debbie? Excuse me. I know you have a lot of fans in here. Any questions for Debbie?
How about everybody who is a Debbie J fan, put a big heart or put lots of hearts in the chat that go all over the screen so I feel loved. Because I need the virtual hugs. Come on.
I have a feeling you'll be getting a lot now.
We'll see what happens. We don't know. Not all people's comments turn into hugs. So I don't know how that works, but some of them come through other ways. Some of them come through different ways. But
I haven't really used the chat part inside of Restream. I usually do StreamYard, but StreamYard is changing their stuff. I mean, I think they're supposed to start charging more.
Who is?
For a lot of the things. And
who is? StreamYard.
StreamYard. Yes. What StreamYard did is they've actually added what Restream does. And so now they're charging more. Restream is a much more affordable tool now. It always was. But I will say, if you want to buy one of these and you're looking at it, we did a year Black Friday deal. It was very good last year. So it was well worth doing it. We weren't going to buy the year because we only use it a couple of times, but it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I've actually I use both StreamYard and Restream.
Mm-hmm.
I use StreamYard usually when I have somebody that's joining me, just because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Because I've had guests on my channel. So yes, I go live twice a week. I go live on Tuesday night, 5:00 Eastern, 4:30 for my members. But I do go live on Tuesdays for that. Most of the time, I'll make a card eventually and give it away. And then on Thursdays, I'm going live on Twitch. So on Twitch, I go live like at noon, and who knows what I'm going to do or how long it's going to be. Might be a card, might be gaming. But lately, it's been cards, and lately, it's been a lot of times it's been recording my videos while I'm streaming. So this video was recorded live on Twitch, but I'm doing that and then going back and editing it, and it's really turned out great. There's been some folks that have given me some great ideas during the stream. Like this pop-up book card for Halloween. And one of the girls was helping, gave me ideas for what papers to use, because it's like, okay, here's some pattern papers, and it turned out gorgeous. Oh my god. It's a spell book. It looks awesome.
So I have a question for you. In all these cards that you make, you've answered some of it. What do you do with all these cards? I mean, your house is only so big. So what do you do with all the cards that you make?
I have several boxes from Michael's, the shoe boxes that are supposed to be for photos. I have several of those full. Last year, I went through them, though, and pulled a bunch of stuff out. I thought I got all my old ones, but I think I got all of my older cards except for Halloween and Christmas, because I figured I'd probably use those. Yeah, and I donated a ton of them out to, oh, goodness, Carla Bostic, Cards for Cancer, I think is the name. I know I've got a link to it over in my Discord, but I'm trying to remember the name for sure because I don't see her that often. She does try to pop in. But I sent her like 3 big boxes of cards. She didn't require envelopes, nothing like that, just the cards. I have sent them off to scrapbook.com for their drive that they do. They do have certain things that they want you to send, and what types of things they want, and they want you to make sure you have an envelope. Susan says yes, it was Cards for Cancer. Thank you so much, Susan. I thought that's what it was. It's like my brain I've slept since then. But I've sent out a lot of them there. A lot of them I have a hard time letting go of, though.
Yes.
I really do. So I'm getting myself in the habit of creating something I love and still giving it away. Although sometimes it takes me a week to 2 to 3 weeks to actually mail them. Because during my live stream, at the end of the live, I'll say, okay, we're going to give these away. And I will give away what I made during that live stream. On Halloween, I pulled out, we did some foiling with transfer gel and stencils. I pulled out some old panels. I pulled out stuff that was in my Halloween crafting box that I hadn't actually pulled out, that I forgot about. So everything was from years past. There were die cuts from Tim Holtz that I think came out like 3 years ago. There were just different things. And I made 12, it's either 12 or 17 cards on that stream. And everybody who was in the chat that actually entered the giveaway got a card.
That's nice.
So I mailed out a ton of cards for Halloween that week. That was after sending out a bunch of Halloween cards to my regular folks. That's where I discovered, some of these are 4 years old.
Well, that's fun too. Another fun thing too for people, if you're making a lot of cards, is to package them together and give them to a senior home, or because they can't get cards to send out for all the different occasions, so they can use them for that. Or it makes a great Christmas gift to give a package of your homemade cards to someone.
Yeah, like I did to I told you guys in the chat on one several years ago. These were ones that were made with pattern paper. I think I did a halfway decent coloring job on a flower on the front, and had sentiments that you could add. So I had them where you just take the release paper off the foam and you put the sentiment on. So I given my mother-in-law like a dozen of them in a box that I made. And the box, I made it out of cardstock, and I don't really think it was heavyweight cardstock. So this was years ago, though. So I gave that to her, and then for my birthday, that was like, I think that was like in May. I think I gave it to her for Mother's Day or something. And then my birthday rolls around, and I get one of these pink floral cards for my birthday.
Did she do it on purpose, or did she do it as a?
No, I think she did it on purpose. It's like, well, I mean, she does go through my stash and pull cards for people that she knows she wants cards for, but she never gives me or my husband a card because they know. Well, probably Todd's favorite thing that he has from me that I made that he keeps on his desk was just where I stamped. It's basically I stamped a panel, didn't put it on a card base or anything, but just did a stamped panel that's kind of like brush strokes or whatever. And that stayed on his desk, and it's the ink is faded and everything. It's like 3 years old, but that's the one that stays on his desk. He really isn't interested in the cards. If I give him a card, he'll give it back to me and let me give it to somebody else.
Well, yeah, you want to give them the people who are going to appreciate it. So
I have to say the ones they like the best, though, are the ones that are interactive.
Mm-hmm.
One year, Jennifer McGuire had shown a video. What was it? It was some kind of a card where you opened it and it blew confetti all over the place, like made with parchment paper or something, and rubber bands. So I made that one. I've made one. I gave that to them, and they said they were cleaning up confetti for a week.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd want one of those. That would be kind of.
I loved it. It was so funny, but they did love it, and I've given them light up cards, and they love the light up cards. Mm-hmm. I'd say that my favorite thing where I've given something to someone is one of my buddies on Twitch last year for Christmas. I had sent her a Christmas card, and so she did the opening on stream. So I'm there and she's like, "Oh, Debbie, I got your card. Let me go ahead and open it." So she's opening it and it's like, "Oh my God, this is so pretty." And I was like, "Did you push the button?" Mm-hmm. And she's like, "What? What button?" And then she sees this where it says push and she pushes like, "Oh my God." You know, she screams. It was so hilarious. And I clipped it. So it's the clip of that is out there somewhere. So that is just, I think that was just so fun because she got so excited. And then this last week she told me that it still sits on a shelf back behind where she does her streaming and stuff. It's still there. She still has it like right there so she can see it all the time.
It's fun. Dancing and anything from Spellbinders.
Oh yeah. The dancing cards are so fun. They're so fun and they're so easy. I don't do a lot of interactive cards. My brain, I guess it's because you know how you get busy and you just need to knock out a card, right? You just need to get your stuff done. You need, I've got a video due, so I need to go ahead and just record. So I just do it. And they tend to be, basically, I think that I've gotten to a point where a lot of my cards are basically the same design. I like to have a white border all the way around the edges. So I've got a panel that is a little bit shorter than A2 with foam on top, and then some kind of focal image, either center or one of the corners. And it works. They're all, I love them all. They look great, and the foam is what makes everything pop. Yes. And this one was different. I actually used 2 patterned papers, but it's still got that white border all the way around. Mm-hmm. This is kind of typical to what I did. Oh, here's another one. This is one that I made that was part of Spellbinders club kits for this month. So it's still got that. Yeah, it's basically, I finally figured out what my go-to is. But sometimes you get something and it's like, and my brain has been, because I've been working enough with Amanda with Pear Blossom Press, and she does make it super easy to make your light up cards. I've done it with copper tape and had to ask Todd, why is my card not lighting up? He's an engineer. He works with speakers. He understands the electrical stuff. So it's like, I don't understand why this is not working. I followed the instructions you drew out. And turns out I interpret them completely backwards.
But you see, that's an interactive card. A light up card is an interactive card.
Yes. But that's the thing. I was intimidated by them, so I stopped doing them. And I also, when I was trying to do them, I'd have trouble with the circuits, with getting the tape where I wanted it, and then trying to get enough foam so you had room for the battery and all the things. And now it's gotten so that I'm on Pear Blossom Press's design team. I do at least a card a month that is light up card. And lately I've been doing 2 or 3 just because. Like I did one, we've got a class coming up. I have a class on my website coming up on the 16th, and it's going to be a light up card. And I had this idea, went to sleep. It's like, oh, that would be cool. Let's do that. So the next day I got up and I made the card. So I don't always have a prototype ready. but this is the card we're going to be making in my class. I'm going to change the camera around.
It's a
I
beautiful
can't
one.
see. There we go. That makes it better. So this is the card. So it's basically you're looking into somebody's house at their Christmas tree. How many times have we walked down the street and done that at Christmas time? We always do, right? But this one,
Lights out.
yeah.
Nice.
And it's pretty flat. The only part that has any kind of foam on it is this little bit right here. So this is going to go through the mail super easy. And this is actually thinner than most of my cards because I always put foam on them. So this one is going to be the one we're going to be making on the 16th. And I decided, okay, it's the holidays. Let's do something special for everybody. I'm giving, instead of doing my regular like $20 for a class, it's $10 for the workshop. And still going to be live on Zoom on the 16th. So
yeah, and for VIPs, Debbie's generously given a $50 coupon.
Exactly, which you can use for this plus other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So remember to check out our coupon if you're a VIP. If you're listening to the replay, check out the coupon and look at it, because we have to go set up another call. We keep doing this.
Okay, yeah.
We have to go set up another
I know,
call.
and then in an hour, I'm going to be live on my channel with Cards by Kendra. We're doing a live stream. We're doing the monthly, I think it's the monthly live stream hop, starting with her giveaway thing. She does like a giveaway announcement for the people that won her giveaways and stuff for the month before. So hers, I think, starts at 4:30, I think. And my live is at 5:00 p.m. Eastern. So I have an hour before that one. So I had to cut papers and stuff already.
Tamar, who, if you missed Tamar earlier, we are coming back with Tamar. I have to go to set it all up again. And then we have Alicia, who you all love, from Australia at 5:30 Eastern. And then a wrap up. So come back and join us.
I'm going to have to go back and watch this stream just to see all the stuff in the chat because I missed so much. I love you guys.
Yes.
And did I do this?
No, but that's okay.
Okay. Instead of saying, yeah.
If you want to listen to Tamara's, just go to the Embellished Connections channel. So click on that, refresh it, and you'll see us come live. Because it's going to be a new link. It's not going to be an old link, and I don't have time to post it. So check out, when you go to the Embellished Connection channel, hit lives, and you'll see it there. We'll be live in 10 minutes. So
another thing people may not know is that in the bar up at the top in your address bar, if you just type /live behind anybody's channel, it'll take you to their next scheduled live stream.
That's good to know.
So that's what I've been just leaving mine on, and then I just hit refresh, and it takes me to the next one.
So there you go. So youtube.com/embellishedconnections /live. So there you go.
Exactly.
And we will be there. So we just have to go set it up because it wasn't supposed to be at this time. So thank you, Debbie, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you, all the Debbie fans who have come out to watch her. We are back with Tamara, who we missed.
I think it's weird. I should not have fans. It's like
everyone should have fans, Debbie. Everyone should have fans. I should not have fans. Everyone should have fans. So we will be back.
Love you guys.
And thank you all for your patience with our tech problems. They are cleared up. So we will be back in a little bit. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and then we're back at 5:30 Eastern with Alicia from Australia, and it'll be Monday morning for her. So there you go. So thanks so much, Debbie, and we will see you guys in a bit.